Real Talk with Sean, everybody. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of speaking with Ezra and Mercedes. I want to thank both of you all for joining me. I really appreciate you. Today,
Thanks for
we're going
having for having us.
huh?
I said thank you for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to be discussing finding love and happiness today, everybody. Before I ask my first question, I want to let both of y'all know how strong I think you are. Seriously, because I mean, this world is a very judgmental world. We people won't even let you just be who the hell you are. So for you all to put your love out there on the forefront and stand tall in your truth, I think you're very strong, both of y'all. Were you, Ezra, born a female?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, okay. And Mercedes, am I correct in saying that you were I'm sorry, a male?
Yes.
All right. So for you, Ezra, tell me when did you first realize that you were trans?
When I was 19, and I'm 26 now, so yeah, 19, about like 18,
So
19.
did you go through a phase where you thought you were gay, or did you always know that you were trans?
I wouldn't say I was gay. It was mostly I was confused.
Okay, okay, I get you.
Yeah,
What you
if
mean
that
by
makes
that?
sense. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, like, yeah, I was just lost.
So just
Like,
so
I wouldn't say that I knew what I was, but I knew that me being a girl wasn't it. So I wouldn't say I was a lesbian. I was just, finding myself. So yeah.
okay. That's different. That's funny because I mean,
Yeah.
talking to different people, that's the thing. We can't put nobody in a box because everybody's story is different. A lot of people that I
Mhm.
do talk to, they started off as gay because they think that that's the easier route to take. I guess you don't get
Yeah.
hated on as you get hated on, but maybe not as much. So they're like, okay, they try
Mhm.
to live their life just being gay or lesbian rather, and then realize that's not what I really want. It's deeper
Yeah.
than that. And what about you, Mercedes? When did you first realize that you were trans, and before you even decided to take that step and be who you are, did you go through a gay phase first?
Um, for me, I think it was more. I always knew I was different
Okay.
from the jump. I
Right,
always
right.
felt different. I was always drawn to more of the girly things. Um, Actually, I believe my mom knew before I knew.
Okay.
Same here. So,
Right, right.
but I
Yeah,
same here. But where I was from, of course, the background that you have, the religious
yeah,
part don't allow you to be who you feel
yeah.
on the inside. So I gradually put myself on the front. Like make I don't know, I just did a lot of different things. I would get my hair did every week.
Uh,
I would go get my nails done. So I was I was a preppy boy.
okay,
But
okay.
if you ask me, I was a preppy girl.
Right, right. I got you. I completely get it. I get it. So when you first,
Three,
decided, Ezra,
3 years ago.
this is how I'm going to live my life. I know that I'm not a lesbian and I'm not happy in this body. Um, who did you tell? Like, did you tell a family member, and how did they take it? I know you had to go to somebody to let those feelings out.
If I'm being honest with you, I didn't. To be honest with you, I haven't, and I never came out as being trans. So I haven't to this day came out being trans. I just posted pictures. You know what I'm saying? If people started like calling me she, I will correct them.
Okay.
Everything goes. It was just that I didn't want backlash. I did have a wall up with a lot of people. Now eventually one of my aunts, she's gay. She eventually, started asking me like, what am I doing? Because I was doing things that. So I
Yeah.
finally told her, and then I was with somebody, but she wasn't really on board with a lot of the things that I was doing anyway. So, but I guess you would probably say my aunt, but that was like maybe like a year within my journey, and then me and her had that talk about it.
Okay. So
So yeah.
you just pretty much woke up and said, you know what, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, and you'll just see my change. Like I'm not
Yeah,
going
pretty
right,
much. I seen somebody else do it. I YouTubed it, got my little info on it. I felt like that's me. That's exactly how I feel.
right.
And once I got the right information and knew what it really was, I'm like, this is what I'm gonna end up doing. And then
Okay.
I did it.
So when you say you didn't want to go through the backlash, like what you mean by that when it comes to not like expressing
Um,
it to nobody how you were feeling?
family members, like I have like a lot of like family members, church members,
Yeah.
and I know that my mom, she's very like spiritual. So my family, I don't know, like I'm not really close with like my family like that. So I don't know how they feel about gay people. And like I said, I have a gay aunt, but I don't know how they feel about her.
Right.
So I just didn't want rejection. I didn't want, and then it was already bad enough that I wasn't, feeling love and everything else. So
Gotcha.
I just didn't want to deal with all that.
And that's what I
So
was
I was
getting at.
just,
Yep, that's exactly what I was getting at. The fact that,
yeah,
most people, I mean, because it's human nature, you want to be who the hell you feel that you are, but then
yeah,
fear of rejection from those that you may want to tell that, you feel should love you for just who you are. But then, you got a fear of the backlash, like you said, or the rejection that comes along with expressing your emotions and how you're feeling. So I completely
yes, yes,
understand why you made the decision to just make your change for you and not
yeah,
nobody else, not
yeah.
about what y'all feel.
I had
And
enough that I was already like, like I'm not gonna say depressed, but I was, depressed. So I was like, just to keep my peace of mind and my mental, I'm just going to just keep everything to myself. And if you find out, then you just find out. If you ask me questions, then I'll answer them.
yeah,
The best that I could during that time period. But now it's like I don't really care no more.
I'm glad. I mean, because
I'm out.
hey, I wouldn't care either because you're walking in your
Yeah,
truth. You know what I'm saying? Don't
yeah,
nobody else have to live my or can live my life for me. And I refuse to walk around depressed. You know what I'm saying? So I can,
yeah,
just with me being gay, I can relate on that level, because I grew up in the
mm,
80s and you don't want to say anything because of rejection. And so I completely, and
yes,
we just got, and I know for trans, there's another barrier we need to cross because people now, I guess, are accepting gays more. But now you want us to accept trans too? Well, it ain't no different. I'm not asking you to accept me. You just be who the hell you are and just let me live.
nope, so not.
you know,
No,
that's really
no,
all it's
I
about.
agree. I agree.
So what about you,
I
Mercedes?
agree.
I heard you, I know you always been a lady. I heard you over there. But what made you finally decide, what, the hell with this? Like when I look in the mirror, I want to see what I'm happy with seeing. What made you decide to finally say, you know what, I'm going to make this change and live my life the way I want to live it?
Well, it was shortly after my mom passed.
Oh,
Honestly, I've only been in transition for 7 years now, I
okay.
think.
And looking
Yeah,
good, I might add, both of y'all.
almost 7 years, but I've always
I
wanted
know
my
that.
outer appearance to match my inner.
Yep.
Same
Yep.
here.
And it never equaled up. And even though I wore a lot of feminine things or did a lot of feminine things, it was still just uncomfortable for me. And I think my biggest fear was the rejection part was on with my brother that I lived with on my mom. I'm the baby of 13, but my mom only had two.
Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all.
I
Okay.
mean I'm sorry, the baby of 12, but my mom only had two. So it
Okay.
was kind of like difficult for me because I had a lot of brothers. I had six brothers and five sisters.
Okay. I get
But
it.
I was very close with my brother, so it was very hard for me when he found out because my parents actually never asked me, was
Okay.
I gay?
Right.
My mom asked me one time. We were riding in the car leaving church, and she asked me, was I gay? Because my dad, um, I guess, persuade her to do so. But however, when she asked me, it was so heartbreaking to me.
Okay.
And it was devastating because my mom is like my best friend. I was like, wow, are you really asking me this?
Right.
And in that moment, she looked at me and she told me, she said, you know what? I would never ask you that again. And she never did.
So when you said you were heartbroken when she asked you that, was it because she looked as if she was disappointed, or just the fact that you had to actually be honest and truthful?
Well, and I still didn't answer.
You know, so you
I
didn't
still
even
didn't
answer.
answer. Because yeah, because I felt like it was my mom and we shared so much and we were so close. I didn't have to tell you. And it was the fact, had she asked me on her behalf, then maybe I would have felt more comfortable with
I
opening up. But
got
being
you.
that she asked me on the behalf of my father, it
Okay,
was a little disappointing because I
got
thought you of all people should know me.
okay. Now I'm with you. Now I'm with you. I completely
Yeah,
understand that. I completely
yeah.
understand that. And I mean,
So she never asked me again after that. And as time progressed, I started doing drag shows and stuff like that. And once I was introduced to drag, it was like, okay, well
right,
maybe this is what I am.
right.
So I started doing drag and stuff like that. And one day I went home and I showed her a picture. I was like, girl, you know who this is? No, I said, I showed her a picture and she said, oh, she's pretty. I said, thank you. I said, you know who it is? And she said, yeah. I said, well, who she said is you. So that was kind of, I guess, my way of letting her know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm doing. But over the years, my mom became very supportive. My dad finally got on board, and he came to me one day and told me that, once he realized some of the backlash that I was receiving from other people, and he had a conversation with his brother one day, and his brother told him, you know what, that's your child, and you need to love your child no matter what. And he came to me and he told me that, and those words stuck with me because he also said in that moment, if you're going to be gay, straight, whatever you are, I just want you to be something in life. And whatever you do, have something. So those words have always stuck with me. Even to this day, I talk to Ezra and I tell him about it. So that's where I was with all of that.
I love it. I actually love that. And I commend your dad. I commend your mother as well, but especially your dad, because I mean, we know how, a man can be. I mean, women too, but in that at that time you were his son. And so the fact that he actually loved you for who you are, for his child, just simply being his child, that I really commend him for that. And I know that that had to help you actually accept yourself a little more.
Because once I was accepted by my mom and my dad, I didn't think.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't care what nobody else said.
Yep.
But what was so shocking and funny to me, believe it or not, when I was in high school, my sister was a cosmetologist as well as I am, and
Mhm.
she would do my hair every Wednesday. Like it was crazy. I would wear finger waves and crazy stuff like that. And my dad would be the one to bring me to get my hair did.
Oh,
So when you
wow.
ask, am I gay? Are you serious? You're paying for me to
Exactly.
get my hair did. What you think?
I think at
So
that
I
point,
was like
I think
so
they wanted
lost,
you to
like,
tell them.
Daddy, I got a whole scrunch in my head. But isn't that what they called it back in the 80s? The scrunch? Yeah.
Yep, that's
So,
what.
yeah, so you're asking me, am I gay? Of course I'm gay. I have a scrunch.
Right, right. I think it's funny how parents do that. They know it's like, but we just gotta ask you. But clearly, you can tell. 99% of the time, whether it's a female or a male, you can definitely tell. So what? So then, when you went through the drag scene, what made you? When did you say, you know what? Nope, I'm still not there. Like you said, I want my outer to match my inner. Like, what made you say, drag is not it? This is temporary, and I'm not feeling it.
2000 and what was it, 19, maybe?
Okay.
It's I think I remember it was in October, but I believe it was either 2016 or 2019.
Right.
But I was like, no, this is not it. And
Right.
I was like, okay. And for a while, when I was doing pageants, I was doing I, I call myself an entertainer, but some people call it drag.
Yep. I
I'm
like
an
entertainer.
entertainer.
I believe you're an
You know,
entertainer.
yes, same here. And
Mhm.
back then, I was a drag queen. So for me, they were all caught up on the hype of you transforming yourself from a guy to a girl.
Yeah.
So I was stuck in that era for
Mm.
quite some time because I wanted to accomplish some goals that I had set within that field.
Right.
So once I always wanted to be Miss Gay Louisiana America, and I won that in 2013. And
Yeah.
that pageant, what that pageant is a pageant that is built structure around male entertainment that transition into drag queen,
Okay.
meaning you cannot have any hormone therapy or any silicone or any body enhancements
Right.
below the neck. So it put a damper and a hold on what I was really truly feeling because I wanted to accomplish that goal. But once I won, that was rap. Hormone time. It was hormone time for me.
On to the next phase. On to the next phase.
So
That's what's up.
that's not how that transpired for me.
Okay. And Ezra, like, so when you finally decided to, start, it's T, right? When you
Huh?
started when you started taking the shots, it's called T, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you first started taking the T, did some part of you start to feel like I know, well, I can assume, like, well, you did mention that you dealt with a little depression because you knew that, this is not who I don't feel my like Mercedes said, my outer not matching my inner. So when you finally started the T and you started to make the transition, did you start to feel alive, like truly alive?
If I'm being honest with you,
Yeah,
no,
that's the way I
I
like it.
didn't.
Okay,
If
okay,
I'm being completely honest, no. And I want to expand it because, like I said, I was dealing with a lot of mental things, So I was very like depressed, and I was trying to, keep calm and with a lot of situations and everything else. So it made me being on T a little aggravated, if that
okay.
made sense. Because when you're on T, like your mood swings change.
I got you.
So I was very aggressive, angry, pretty much aggressive and angry. I had a lot of anger in me
Yeah,
and everything goes. I feel like my depression and me being on my hormones made it worse because I started doing things that I didn't do before when I was a girl, like cutting, popping pills,
right, right, right.
not like drugs, but like like overdosing. So so it was like I was dealing with a lot of stuff.
Okay,
But
yeah,
once I got through all of that and everything goes, it made things easy, And then I try to, surround myself around good energy, but that didn't always work either. So I was still in a bad mental place
yeah.
then, you know.
And that
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure that had to do with childhood because those are things that no
yeah,
matter what,
yeah,
I can fix my outer to be what I want, but I'm still dealing with a lot of
yeah,
internally. And like you said,
yeah,
unless you really deal with those issues and let that inner child like go to rest and be the adult and be who you are authentically meant
yeah.
to
And
be.
I was dealing with a lot of that. Yeah, like my mom, my
Yeah.
dad, just most of them really just trying to
I
have
get
a
it.
relationship with my mama, really.
I
So I
mean,
think that was like the main
who wouldn't?
focus.
I get that. That's enough to make, a child and an adult be in a depressed state. That's the one, the two people rather, but I'm going to say that mommy. It's nothing like having the love and the acceptance from a mother, and especially a child growing up as a child, because there's nothing a child could do. I don't give a shit what you say. There's nothing a child could do to push a true parent away. You stick with your child no matter what. So I can imagine the internal
Exactly, exactly.
dialogue you were going through with yourself and the internal feelings that you had probably just, let pile up. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hope that you have since then gotten to a better place and, whether you get help from a therapist or come into some type of internal healing within yourself. I hope that you're on that path and stay there.
Well, I mean, I was getting therapy at one point, but therapy wasn't really working because You know,
Okay.
I thought that my therapist was very, whatever, but that really wasn't working. But I got out of a relationship that wasn't healthy for me.
Good.
I you know, put down some walls with my dad. 'Cause I felt like my dad wasn't or didn't approve of what I was doing. That's why I wasn't really, my mom. I'm not even much gonna mention her. That's not gonna never happen. Probably never will happen. I'm cool with it. I took it for what it is. I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna live my life, So at this moment, I just been surrounding myself around positive people, but just been doing positive things, really.
And
To be
that's all.
honest, just to stay busy.
Yep, and that's all you can do. And as far as with your mother, I get it. You gotta. At the end of the day, you're stuck with you. I mean, it's everybody else can come and go, but I can't get rid of me. And so I
Yep.
gotta be okay with me. And I only can control what I can control, and I choose to be happy. I just hope and pray that your mother,
Yep.
come around at some point and realize you're still her child at the end of the day. And I just want to be loved. I'm still the same person that came out of you. So I hope that that she comes around, and I'm glad that you've made peace with where it is right now, because that's what's up.
Mhm.
I heard you mention
Well,
toxic relationship.
I'm sorry if I
No,
can intrude for just a moment.
of
I
course.
just want to say on behalf of what he said. I want to say to you that I'm very proud of you because I remember
Yes.
at one point you couldn't even have the conversation. And
Yeah.
if I even said mom or mother, there was a point where I would even, because me and my mom was so close, I would even open up to Ezra to try to talk to him about my mom,
Right.
and he would shut me down. And one day we were sitting in the car in the parking lot, and he got in the car and he said to me, he said, "Baby, you know what? I'm sorry." He said, "Because you don't deserve that, and just because I don't have the relationship that you had with your mom doesn't give me the right to shut you out like that." So in that moment, I saw the growth in you. So I appreciate you for that, and you continue to be your authentic self, the loving person that you are. I see the growth in you. I see that you're growing. Keep thriving, because the sky's the limit. And as long as you have me on your side, baby, I'm gonna keep
I
pushing.
know that's right. Yo, I got a fan in y'all corner right here. So let me tell you something. For one thing, said to him, that's so deep to me, because that to me, that's a genuine love. When you can, she just let you know she proud of you. And I think that we all need to hear stuff like that when we, a pat on the back. It's nothing wrong with that. And to acknowledge somebody's growth and their, the positivity when you're going in a positive direction. So I commend you too, because it is hard to talk about things that hit to the core, you know um
Yeah.
so to be able to talk about it shows a lot of growth. So I do agree with Mercedes on that. And I haven't even been around, but I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Damn right. You damn right. Now I heard y'all mention toxic relationships, or heard you mention a toxic relationship, which brings me
Yeah.
to you two. So now you already know there are people out there, which first of all, y'all, we don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? They love each other. You just heard love from Mercedes right there that she expressed to him.
Yeah.
So we really don't give a shit what nobody feel. This their life and they happy. But there are haters out there. So tell me,
Yes.
from either one of y'all, to people that are saying, well, you were born this sex and you were born this sex, which is what people out there would say, you bring that two together. What made y'all two decide to bring
Yeah.
trans love?
You might have to ask this question since you were in a gas station. But with me, to be honest, this is like my first transgender relationship. I've never been with a trans woman at all. I've only dated cis women.
Right.
Now I knew about trans women.
Mhm.
Excuse my language, but I feel like trainees and transgender women are two different people. So
They are.
I've only knew
I
about
agree.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Some
I've only
education
knew
for
about
y'all right there. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so I've only knew about trainees. So the people that I knew that was trainees, they would be, walking whatever X, Y, and Z, but really wouldn't look like a female or take the character of one.
They'll
So
conduct
yeah,
themselves
and
as
then
a lady. Uh-huh.
yeah, so where I'm from, there's like a lot of drag shows and everything else. When I was with my ex, me and her would go to like not a lot of drag shows, but quite a few because we knew of this guy. He does drag also, but he's a male illusionist, so he only just does male drag.
Right.
We went to one of his shows. I actually seen Mercedes perform. Right. I ended up finding out through social media that she was trans. So it really shocked me. Like I was baffled. Right. So I'm like, oh, she's trans. Right. So that's when my mind starts going like, oh, well, I wonder how it would be to the trans women, you know, whatever. So I ended up breaking up with my ex because it just wasn't working. And not just that, but I felt like my preferences was changing as well. You know, so I felt like I was starting to know what I like, you know, other than just cis women. You know, I like cis women, I like trans men, I like trans women. I like whatever just likes me, you know. So um I had to be open minded and truthful to myself also with that too. And I felt like my ex didn't like the fact that I was being honest with her and truthful about what I like. So I felt like she wanted me to live this straight life that I didn't want. So ended up meeting her. We ended up, you know, kicking it off. I really, really loved it. I love the connection that me and her have. I feel like she understands me more, and everything goes. And I just feel like it just works hand in hand. You know, I really feel like not saying that everybody should, but I really feel like a lot of trans men that doubt trans women, I feel like they should just try it out. You know, cause I know a lot of trans men that doubt trans women because they heard things or whatever. Because I was just the same way, but I really feel like they should really try them out, like seriously, because there's a lot of trans women that I've met. You know what I'm saying? Other than her, that are really like they're really cool. Like you know, like they're really cool. Like seriously. And like I really, really love it. I enjoy our relationship. It's always something new and different, you know, and what she does makes it more interesting. So it's, you know, an adventure
That's what's
journey.
that's what's up. And
Yeah.
I actually like that because I mean, for y'all, you know, and anybody else, because you should be able to love who the hell you love just because they are the person that you like, and it's just that because the outside of your skin is so much. We're so much deeper than that, you know. And
Yeah.
I always say, you know, anyway, the moment people hear since I'm talking to you all, I'm going to use you. When people hear, you know, trans on trans, they instantly want to go in your bedroom. And I think that if we stay out of the
And
bedroom,
I hate that. I hate
me
that.
too.
Yes.
So
I
if we
hate
stay
that.
out
Like,
of
don't worry
the
about what
bedroom,
we're doing in the bedroom.
absolutely,
It's none of y'all business.
it really is not. And so
It's
if
none of
you
y'all
stay out of
business.
the
I
bed,
hate that.
yeah, if you stay out of their bedroom, then you can just look at them as two individuals that came together that happen to find happiness within one another. When you said that, I was going to ask you rather, do you feel like it's a part of you, and it may not even be that, because I know Mercedes is Mercedes, and you apparently were smitten with Mercedes once you saw her. Like, I mean, so
Yeah. I was,
finding out,
yeah.
you know, after you had already
Yes.
saw her
Google God the
beautiful
whole
face,
time.
and then to find out she trans, it's like shit. I don't care, you know.
Make
I
things
already think you fine as
a
shit.
little bit better. I'm like, all right, I
Right,
might try
right.
this out.
Yeah. What I want to know about that, do you feel like the fact that she was already beautiful and you were already attracted, now you find out that she trans, do you feel like it not easier because you're still who you are and she's still who she is, and if the communication out there is just not gonna work, but as far as understanding some of the things that we may go through, you all may come together a little more. Do you feel like it's easier from that perspective?
What you mean?
So some of your, like,
By both of us being trans, we can
right,
understand each other's
the
intellect and
struggle.
Oh
mindset.
yeah,
Exactly. Right.
yeah,
Do you
yes,
feel like
yes,
that makes it a
yes,
little more
definitely,
easier? Okay, or not more
definitely,
easier,
yes,
just easier. Okay, yeah, I
definitely.
was wondering that, and so apparently you were one fine thing, Miss Mercedes. You know what I'm saying?
Still is.
Well,
There you go. There you go.
what I mean,
Oh, you'll
what
hear
did I?
it later. You will hear it later. Just know that you are loved,
Oh,
and you. So, you know, I had the same question for you, Mercedes. So, you know, Ezra just told me, you know, how when he first saw you, you know, he thought you were beautiful right off the break. And then, you know, to find out that you were trans, it was like, oh, you know, basically, I don't care. I think that she's fine and I want to get to know her. So, what about you when it came to Ezra? Like, how did you feel, and have you ever dated a trans man?
okay, so This is gonna be a shock, but it was a shocker for him.
Okay.
But for me,
Mind you, I'm new to all this.
I have
Okay.
not dated a man in years or a gay guy for that matter.
Okay.
Well, it had been quite some time since I dated a cis man or a gay man. And then I tried it again and dated a guy for 6 months,
Okay.
which was a total mistake. And then he reminded me why I don't. But only date trans men.
Say what?
I only date trans men.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. For me, I would date. Well, I'm saying I've dated a stud before. For me,
Okay.
it's the masculinity
Exactly.
that I'm attracted to, and not only that, I go deep. I want to know what's your goals, what's your ambition, you know, what are you trying to accomplish in life,
Absolutely.
you know, stuff like that. But when I first saw him, I knew when I first saw him that he was the one.
I know that's right.
And it was crazy because I was in a relationship before that for a little over 3 years.
We both was.
Right.
We
So
was in
that wasn't,
relationships.
and they weren't
We
exactly.
both was.
And
We was
both of them are out of
dating.
here.
Yeah, they gone.
So, but I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do it correctly.
Mhm.
Let me start off by saying this. First of all, even though he was he was in a relationship, as he said, they were on a break, however the case may be. I was still living with my ex, but we had not been together in my head for quite some time.
Right.
So for me, I was single. But I was always very respectful of him and her. I never my intention was to never cause any damage.
Right.
We were only supposed to be friends.
Yep, sure was.
Right.
That we was.
And I never told him anything to be disrespectful to her. I was never disrespectful to her. I never said anything disrespectful, called her out her name, etc. I always had a respect for what he was doing and how he was doing it. But all at the same token, I was also very transparent on what it was and when it was happening. When I started to feel a certain way, I told him. And I told him, it's not that I want you to make a choice. I'm just going to have to choose. And that's not to interfere. So I was kind of like on a scale back. And I think that put some fear in him because we were both starting to really connect with each other
And
on
like
so
each
many
other a
different
lot.
levels.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know when you're starting to connect because there's a certain comfort that you'll feel that you may not have with the one that you're with, but you're not stuck per se, but you know you're in something. And but when you feel that connection and you're drawn to one another, that's a feeling that you really can't fight. And to me, that's real. You know, I just believe it's about, like you said, Mercedes, though, you got to know what somebody's ambitions are, what do they want out of life, because those things really do matter if you're going to bring those two lives together, because otherwise you're going to be going in two separate directions, you know. So I'm glad that, you know, with Ezra, it seems like Ezra was more of the one that was a little more not reserved, but I could be wrong because you have been through certain things. It seemed like you probably were. Mercedes is more aggressive, let me say that.
Yeah, she is.
And so
She gets what she wants. Yeah, no, like
yeah, yeah.
for real. Like if she wants it, she gonna get it.
I
That
know
is
that's
mercy.
right.
Oh my God.
Yes, like seriously, work, all of that, life, all of that.
You think so?
Yes, but it's good because it's like once you have like your mindset set on it, you aim for it. So like it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a damn no,
Okay.
what?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
ain't
damn
bad.
good
No.
thing, man. Because I think that's a good thing because you know if wherever Ezra may lack, not to say you do, but wherever you lack, it seems like you all complement each other. Is what I'm trying to get at. It really seemed like y'all complement each other's emotions. And so
Yeah.
I really think that that's most important because, like I said, you can rip all my skin off. It's about my core, who I am at my core, and to love that person, not just my face or how I look. So that's where I think you come in. Mercedes, like you said, you want to know your goals and ambitions and dreams and who you really are. So I love. It seems like y'all are really close, and y'all have a foundation set. It's not like a lot of people just get into shit, and if the sex is good, we just gonna ride with it. You got to have a foundation set, and we got to be able to really communicate and be our authentic, raw selves if we want longevity. And it seems like y'all
Right.
do have that. So, what made y'all
But let me
decide?
tell you this,
What?
it's not easy.
No,
Oh,
sure
I,
not.
a lot of people look at us and think like we're the ideal couple and
yeah.
we're just so, we have our moments and we have disagreements.
Oh,
But during those disagreements, when we don't come together, we take a minute or breather and we're going to talk about it or we're going to figure it out.
there you go. And see,
Because for one, if I shut down, he already know I walk through the house for weeks and I say nothing. And he don't like when I ignore
right,
him.
right.
He'll be like, so babe, you gonna cook today? I won't say a word. He'll be like, so you don't hear me talking? No, we're not gonna talk about no food. We're gonna talk about the situation we just had.
You
Then
are
we'll move on to the food.
so right as far as because it's not easy. I mean, people see, online because of course nobody lives with you all and not with you every day. It's hard to make a relationship or keep a relationship working and staying positive and staying together. So I do agree with you. But like you said, it's about communicating because you're not gonna just let it, you're not gonna sweep it under the rug. You're like, nah, we're gonna talk about this and we're gonna be honest with one another and then we're gonna fix it and move on. And then people really need to realize it's okay to disagree. That don't mean we gotta hit below the belt or lash out at one another. We do gotta keep respect and communicate. I think those are like big keys in a relationship, and of course
Yeah.
honesty. So I see y'all already doing it. I just hope that y'all through the ups and downs stay strong and keep communicating with one another. You have followers, whether they're haters or supporters, you have followers, and so y'all are sharing your love and your happiness with the world. What made y'all decide to start being open about it?
Like how I said, I was messing with a cis female, so I was still and get over her and everything. So I wasn't ready to expose her and everything else. So I think for like what 9 months, 10, 10 months. It's probably like maybe like once we probably hit like 6 months. That's what it was. That's when I went ahead and started like exposing her more and everything else, and not just that, but like how I said in the past, I don't like my peace and my mind to be fucked. So it's like I didn't want people coming to me sour with like how they have, everything else, because I have a platform on TikTok, so I went viral a few times on TikTok. So it's like because of that situation, Mercy don't know about it, but that situation messed up my mental and my peace.
Okay.
It's like, dang, people really feel this way about trans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't understand it, but I had to understand that I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for other trans couples that might be dating that's not out there. So it's like I can't just think about me. But I eventually, within those couple of months, exposed her and everything else. And not just that, but I was so much in her, what you want to call it, show life. So I was like, let me just, cause I don't want people thinking that I'm with her for clout. Because that's not the case. I'm with her because I love her. I like her. I love what she has, going on.
Yeah.
It's strong. It's not what I'm used to. I needed
Right.
something, yeah, strong.
That's when you know you love somebody for real. When you're able to put the whole world to the side and just focus on you and your significant other, that's when you know you really love somebody because like you said, and that could come with ridicule. People gonna want to give their opinions and say why y'all doing this and this and that, and you know, it's none of your damn business. You know, so I'm glad that you
It's not.
are strong enough to put y'all relationship out there, and I mean stand firm in it, because I actually love y'all, and I know I'm not the only one.
Am I?
What you say?
Oh well, we love you too.
I
I said
appreciate
we
it,
love you too.
and I'm a supporter of you all.
And you know, for me,
Mhm.
well, I think Baby was more concerned about like some of the some of the feedback that we were getting and like some of the negative comments. I think he was more concerned about my feelings
That's
because
what's
he kept asking me, you know, are you okay? Are you okay? You know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. You're like, do you want me to remove the video? Do you want me to take it down? No, leave it up. I'm good. Even though I think you caught me in a bad angle, but hey, leave it up. That was a nice video. That video was magical. Like it was okay. We was in love. We just walking, having fun.
right.
You know, a little tipsy. Yeah, that was a nice video.
You caught the wrong angle. You got to showcase.
It's always the wrong angle.
I already listen. My wife do the same thing.
Right.
My wife do the. I have to take about 50 pictures, and most of them are not good because I caught the wrong angle. Like it's always the wrong angle. You know, you got to show
Right.
that.
And
Show
he
that
had this thing
What'd you say?
where he like to zoom in
Oh,
with the camera. Oh, I hate it.
he want to zoom in
I
on there,
absolutely
or
hate
he
it.
want to
Oh
zoom
my
in
God.
on your all your fineness. That's what he doing. He's zooming in so he can see all of you.
Okay, thank you.
I love it. I love it.
He like that, but he always like to do. He catch me off guard. He'd be like, okay, well, oh my God, what are you doing? He's like, tell the people good morning. No.
That's why. That's why she not. I know that's right. Ain't nobody catching you off guard. My wife the same way. She don't play that.
So, but
How long have y'all been
yeah, I don't even. My hair is dead. She was like something. You would think forever. 10 months.
How long? 10 months? That's what's up. 10 months ain't
Yeah.
going strong. Y'all still in the honeymoon phase.
Yep, already. Yeah, May 10th, make 1 year.
My last question to you all. Can both of y'all please promise me to always spread peace and love in this world?
Oh, yes. Most definitely. Definitely. Yes.
And
Yes. I love it, everybody. Yes.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Maybe a
about.
little bit more challenging for my man, but no, just
Oh, we gonna work on him. We gonna work on you, Ezra. We got you. We got you. Well, listen, y'all. I thank y'all so much. I really, really